What's up, you guys? It's your girl J Vibes, and we are back again for yet another episode of Unmute and Unwind. Absolutely, yes. Let's get it shut poppin'. What's good, y'all? All right. So today, do y'all have y'all glasses of wine? Let me tell y'all about my wine glass experience, okay? We had to let go of the other wine glass, which was technically not even a wine glass. But we're not going to get into that, okay? We're going to get into that a little bit later. But today we are doing a Sauvignon Blanc for Joel Gott. It is not a vintage, just recently brewed in 2018. But sometimes I like that when it comes to white wines. I am a personal fan of Joel Gott. If you guys have not had it before, this is a definite yes. For like a in-home dinner night or something with Bae, I would definitely recommend this for sure. Anything with salmon too. So it's really greatly paired with salmon. But let's go ahead and do our test for today. And I hope you guys wrote down last week's wine, because as you can see, it is not here. Yeah, y'all thought I was just going to keep. Nope. That's not how it's working. You're going to actually have to keep watching these episodes and make sure you write down what you think it is. But let's go ahead and taste it. That's nice. That's real nice.
What's this like?
It's like an orange festival in my mouth.
Definitely citrusy.
Definitely citrusy. Yeah, like an orange festival in my mouth. That is amazing. You looking disgusted. It's really good. She drinking. Amazing. Like, what are you even talking about? All right. So, and 13.9%. Okay? So, finish the bottle. You should feel nice. Finish the bottle. You should feel nice.
She's gonna be drunk.
Yeah, I mean, finish your glass. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this works out by the end of the segment. If I'm slurring, then please go grab yourself a bottle. With that being said, let's get into it. But before we get into it, I want to share something with you guys. A rather new experience, because this will be my second time doing it. Don't judge me. I mean, sometimes I did it, just not there. But anyway, I went and got a Brazilian. Let me tell you something.
They're lovely, but painful.
What? Elka? She did me wrong. I was touched in places that I forgot I had, if that makes sense. And then, like, I guess she had to, like, put some, like, baby powder and stuff, and this motion kept happening. I was like, please. I feel so uncomfortable. But nonetheless, I am smooth. I am back. It's summertime, baby. Yes, we are smooth and we are back in action. So, ladies, it is extremely painful. I actually got, she hooked me up. She gave me like a full body. But I feel great. I feel soft. I feel smooth. I feel like a lady. So make sure you guys go do that. If you don't want to do it, there are other alternative options. You can do like laser hair removal, but I mean, that's just probably a better option for you in the long run anyway. So let's get into it. In celebrity news this week, we have Fabulous and Emily are just announced that they are having their third child together. That's caused a little bit of an issue. For some people. Why? Because we all know, because he beat her ass, yes. And he knocked her teeth out. Absolutely.
Forgiveness.
Forgive what?
I just wanted to see if you was going to have a straight face for that.
What? Let me tell y'all something before I even get into that. There are certain things that you can forgive, and there's certain things that are just like, nah, son. I feel
Does
like
she
anybody
deserve to get her teeth knocked out.
Do you deserve to get your teeth?
Sometimes.
Okay, cut.
We do not condone.
J-Box does not condone domestic violence. Yo, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. With that being said, they are expecting a third child. However, they have been receiving backlash from social media in regards to 2018 domestic violence dispute, in which Fabulous was charged with aggravated assault and some charges of terrorist threats. They charged him with that because supposedly he texted and said he wanted to hit her with a baseball bat, but he ain't gonna go out like that. She did have 2 teeth extracted, and he did point the gun at her father. Yeah, girl, it was real. He
is on the next episode of Snap.
He really snapped. But I guess congrats, happy baby, yay! But yes, babies are always definitely a blessing, and they have absolutely beautiful kids. But with that being said, Beyonce also is back on our feed today. Beyonce, we love you. Remember that? We all love Beyonce.
Yes.
Beyonce hits the charts with her new song, Black Parade. It's her new song which honors Black excellence. One of my favorite lines that she had in there was shouting out to one of my favorite activists right now, Tamika Mallory. Okay, this girl is doing her damn thing. She's been everywhere. Literally, Beyonce said, if I want to, have a protest, I'm going to call Tamika to pull up. Okay, so that just goes to show how much she has been impacting our fight. So shout out to you, girl. Black girl magic. But yes, B is back in business with the Black Parade. And the one thing that I do love about the song, although it took me a minute to kind of like vibe with it, I'm going to be truthfully honest. I'm just like that, I'm honest. B is donating the proceeds from this song to Be Good's Black Business Impact Fund. Okay, and so on this website also you are able to see a directory of Black businesses within your area that you can shop from. So I think that was super great. That's an artist that's using their platform and still, using it to their will. Like I said, if you're a singer, use your voice. If you're a writer, use your pen. So clap to Beyonce, always being the queen bee there. Supposedly Beyonce's having a little bit of a thing with Britney Spears and Queen Bee. Supposedly Britney Spears made a post, and I'll drop that here, that basically just says that she was the queen bee. I don't know where. See these. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But they're really going insane. Nonetheless, though, the thing is, whether it's Queen Bee, if Beyonce's Queen Bee, if Lil' Kim is Queen Bee, or if Britney Spears is Queen Bee, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm from New York, all right? The only Queen Bee is Kim. I love Beyonce, she's Queen Bee with the Y, but the original Queen Bee, the person that got it popping, was Lil' Kim. So shout out to you, Lil' Mama. Love you, girl. All right, so in other news, Teyana Taylor dropped her new album, which is called The Album, a 23-song jam-packed festival of music. I mean, Teyana Taylor literally uses everything. It's such a vibe. Such a vibe. One of my favorite songs is Boomin'. She was like, boom like an 808. That's my shit. Because that was one of my favorite songs when I was growing up. So always, Teyana Taylor she puts a twist on everything. How you want it. Everybody knows that her and Kalani's video, Morning.
Oh, Lord.
It did something to me. It is, I get hot. That was beautiful. That was art in itself. That was like the best thing I've seen since her and Kanye did that thing where she was like, work the middle. That thing, yeah. But anyway, with that being said, it does give me life. Fade. And she even, yes. Fade. I feel the fade. Yeah. But she even features her husband, Iman, on it, on one of the songs, Wake Up Love. Wake up, love. Yeah, that's my shit. But yes, and in the video, of course, they officially announced their second child, and I just love their first one so much. I'm excited for what's to come because Junie, look at my baby Junie, y'all. This little girl, she is a whole vibe. She was jamming out with her parents on the balcony at the album release party. I love that. She's going to be a star, too. But in addition to all this good news with Teyana Taylor, y'all, so supposedly Erykah Badu is going to be her midwife.
And that's a vibe. Erykah Badu's big.
How do you feel about that?
It's going to be...
Erykah Badu is going to be her midwife.
They need the Earth Mother. Medulla oblongata, yes.
Yeah, so Erykah Badu practices, she's a doula. And so Teyana Taylor actually announced that with McLean in an interview, and here's what she had to say.
In home birth, and I'm going to be doing it with Erykah.
Oh, okay.
So supposedly Erykah Badu is going to be her midwife.
And that's a vibe. Erykah Badu's big.
How do you feel about that?
It's going to be...
Erykah Badu is going to be her midwife.
They need the Earth Mother. Medulla oblongata, yes.
Yeah, so Erykah Badu practices, she's a doula. And so Teyana Taylor actually announced that with McLean in an interview, and here's what she had to say. I think it's lit. I think that's lit. Who doesn't want Erykah Badu as their midwife to deliver their baby? I mean, that's a story in itself to be told. She's legend. She is legend, okay, period. So, Teyana Taylor, again, congratulations to you. And remember, you heard it here first on Unmute and Unwind. Yes. Cancer season is on the rise. We are officially, they let you calm down after the hype lit Geminis come through. But Cancer season, happy birthday to all my Cancers.
Thank
I really
you.
do know some really dope Cancers. Sweet people, super emotional, a little bit psycho, but nonetheless, you're just a little bit. With that being said, I found this book that I want to share with you guys. Your personal horoscope. I actually picked up this little thing in Urban Outfitters one day when I shouldn't have been in there. And it just kind of gives you a month-to-month forecast for every single sign. So some of the things that I want to just drop for you guys, some gems, is there was an eclipse on the 21st, which did a strong financial dramatic change for your life, as well as a detox of self-image. That's going to be your biggest thing in the month of June, okay? Your lucky numbers are 2, 4, 21, and 11. And it is the month of patience, so make sure that you guys are waiting for all that you have sown to finally reap, okay? Shout out to y'all and happy birthday. Also, in other good news, and this leads me right to where we need to go in our Black Progress segment, Kenya Barris. So if you guys don't know who Kenya Barris is the producer of many, many things, but so to speak, Grownish, Blackish, and latest, Black AF. A Netflix series. So if you guys have not seen that and you're Black AF, I definitely encourage you to watch it. That was amazing. Every episode was because slavery, which really, really dove in. And here's the deal. I think that when Black people are depicted, it's either like we're depicted really freaking ghetto or like smart and displaced, if that makes sense. There's no balance, you know, even though we are probably of the month's balanced people, you know, we have to make comedy of our hurt and all those things. But Kenya Barris, you know, talked on some really heavy topics, but the show was hilarious, okay? Genius. But Netflix just decided to go ahead and renew them for season 2. So we're lit about that, right? Also, with that being said, Pharrell and Kenya Barris are going to be making a Juneteenth musical. So that's going to be a vibe. That is going to be a vibe. Unfortunately, it didn't come out this year, but I will say, what did y'all do for Juneteenth?
I worked. I asked my boss, could I have off? I sent him a picture of Target taking it off.
Black-owned business, and I was at a Black Bar Crawl.
Okay.
You know?
We got a dry erase board. I wrote Happy Juneteenth on it. Everybody that came in, I was like, Happy Juneteenth.
I bet you. Yeah, the thing is, I walked around. As I told you guys last week, I went to go visit my best friend in Virginia, and she just had a baby. So I love my baby. She's so adorable. But we had like a Black cookout barbecue. I mean, we played games like Black Car Revoked, just karaoke, just fun things that Black people love to do. We watched the documentary on Netflix regarding Sandra Bland. And the LA riots in 1992, which was the year I was born, everything blew the fuck up. But yeah, we had a good time watching that. That was super fun, just enjoying being Black, And so this is the first year that I actually paid attention to that. And so I'm super excited to say that I celebrated well. And I hope everybody else did. There was some barbecues down here for the LGBT community. It is still the month of June. Shout out to y'all. Rainbow. Okay. And they had a really good, successful time down here for that barbecue. Shout out to Boss Brit and all of her crew for throwing that for people down here. That was super dope. Keep it going, guys. And here we are. Let's go to Black Progress, baby. In Black Progress, NASCAR racer Bubba Wallace, who has stand for the Black Lives Movement, who is also biracial, has been in the limelight for quite some time now, with him first, of course, having his statement about what he supports, which we thank you for that, him repainting his car, you know, to support the Black Lives Matter movement, and then he, of course, received backlash for that. The NASCAR was behind him on that. However, as of recent, they found a noose in his car garage. For those of you who don't know what a noose is, I know it might seem crazy to ones who do know, but there are a lot of people, I found that out by a post that I made today, have no idea what that is, if just by the term. They only know by looking. That is what was used to hang people. It is a very intricate knot that you would tie to hang someone. And so now, basically, they're trying to repair that with the media and the FBI saying that it wasn't a noose and it was indeed just a pulley, you know, for the car garage. However, it's very obvious that no pulley was ever shaped as a noose. The thing that, you know, aggravates me is where they try to make us feel stupid for the things that we know are just blatant acts of
They said it
racism.
was like there for a long time.
They say that it was there. It doesn't matter. They say that it was there since 2019. So you tell me what you think on that. But anyway, with that being said, Bubba, just, stay strong. We're behind you. We support you. And I hope that whoever did it definitely comes to justice on that. Also, in other news on what we are going through, a Baltimore, Maryland mom has a new lawsuit pending now with her interference with a Uzu Bay restaurant in Baltimore, Maryland. Supposedly, Marcy Grant brought her 9-year-old son into the restaurant establishment and was told by staff that he was unable to stay because he was in athletic attire. However, once she looked around the restaurant, she found a white young male in the same, honestly, very almost identical clothing. Pointing this out to the manager, he was very unmoved by that and even asked that she go home if she lived close to change the young man's clothing. And as you can see, the reaction here.
Unfortunately, we do have a dress code. If you have some non-athletic shorts.
But that white kid out there can't be here with his tennis shoes on and his athletic shirt.
Unfortunately, we do have a dress code. If you have some non-athletic shorts.
But that white kid out there can't be here with his tennis shoes on and his athletic shirt.
I don't know, y'all. I just honestly feel like we can't keep ignoring the fact. Like, I mean, at this point, right? If we never had a clear example of racism, like before, we could kind of say you're being racist, but we couldn't prove that anyone had been in the restaurant with those clothes on. Literally, the woman turns around, okay? And it's like God was like, let me drop this little boy right here. Let me show you something. Turns around, and the young man is literally in the same clothing, identical. I mean, he wasn't as fresh, but he was in the same clothing as this young boy, and still. So it just goes to show you that there are some, and his company fired him indefinitely, of course, saying that we don't agree with this or that and the third.
Policy for kids like 12.
Yeah, we're changing the policy for kids 12 and under. The policy, as long as you are dressed and you don't look sloppy and you're not in I think wife beaters or things like that or caps. I can understand those things in a restaurant, but they're children. Like, children are not going to be in luxurious suits. Children are not going to always be in jeans and a button-up. Children literally play, and so they're normally in athletic wear. And for a young black male, that normally means basketball shorts and probably a Jordan and Nike tee. The point of the matter is he did nothing wrong, and for that young man to stand there and have to experience racism at such a young age, I mean, if you're not upset, I say this and I will continue to say this, you are a part of the problem. So I think we're all just hoping that something great comes from, her, Mrs. Grant's, Grace situation, and we can go.
That restaurant gonna be named after her.
Absolutely, I would make it so. You gonna name it Macy Grant? Period.
We taking everybody.
Period. With that being said, also in Black Progress, our attempts to defund the police, as they have been using the amount of money that they get to kill, basically, give them more tasers, give them more bullets. I don't know. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing to protect us. Just want to go into a little bit about that. And I have a second notes here. So what I normally do, guys, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I write my notes in my rare book all day, and then I come back with these so that I'm not like scattered and looking all through my notes. But I wanted to keep this here so that it was extremely authentic from what I was doing throughout the week for my notes. So basically, since George Floyd's death, rest in peace, it has exposed racism in a way that I feel like white people at this point can't ignore. You know that they're seeing it at an exponentially bigger amount. Like what they were able to ignore, they can't anymore. And actually, since 2015, where a poll was taken where only 51% of Americans thought that racism in our country was a big deal, as of today, it has actually soared to 76%. Which, in my fucking opinion, is still pretty low.
That's very low.
That's a C. Okay? That is still extremely low. And that remaining 24% scares me. Because that is literally almost a quarter of our people not seeing that. But neither here nor there. But what we're doing is we're continuing to push that information. We're continuing to push that pain. We're showing the injustices. We're showing things that are going wrong. And so, I mean, ultimately, if we're seeing it, just know that they're seeing it. Unless they're going to delete all their black friends. And even still, we have white, Caucasian, and other brown allies that are able to push it on their feeds. But the attempt to defund the police is, it's not that we don't need the protection, okay? That is, and a lot of people have the wrong connotation towards this. I heard a white gentleman talking about this in a TJ Maxx the other day with someone that wanted to intervene so bad, right? I really did. But the way I'm set up, God is still working on me. And so I can't do that. Okay. But I wanted to intervene, but basically, you know, he was saying how foolish would that be for us to, you know, defund the police, and who's going to come when there's robberies, and let me tell you something. All right. Since you want to talk about that, sir, I hope that you find this page one day. Let me tell you something. As much as you think that police are doing, here are the stats and numbers across the United States. Okay. Only 38% of murders are solved within a year fiscal. 66% of rapes, 70% of robberies, and only 47% of aggravated assault. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Those numbers may be really good when it's in other things, but you got to imagine that, especially for murder, there's 62% of murders not being solved. And here's the deal. You should add a little bit more percent, because there's murders that you guys, the police, are killing us that have not been solved. Okay? So as much as we don't want those people that think that defunding the police will cause this and that, it's not even about defunding the police as much as it is taking away from how much they get. Do you know that Baltimore, Maryland has a $500 million budget for their police? That's what you guys and not even 18% of that goes to social services. So when I say, in my personal opinion, defund the police, what I mean by that is start putting that back into your communities. For people that have mental health, for addiction, for foster care. Yeah. Education. Activities. I tell you this much. Therapy.
I feel like all kids at a young age, they should have more psychiatry.
Homelessness. Could you imagine if we took half of what that's just Baltimore? No, but here's the deal. Especially, and I like you guys know, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, okay? Downtown Atlanta has to be one of the most despicable places for homeless. I'm from New York, and like, I don't know if it's because they're on the sidewalk that it don't seem as...
You just got to go where the shelters are. Then you see...
they be under tents, under interstates, and here's the deal, there's so many accidents on the interstate that when I see homeless people under a bridge, it makes me so afraid for them. What happens if a drunk driver or someone who's not paying attention goes, you know, that's their home. Literally, their home is where people are driving 80 plus miles an hour daily. That's the things that you put your money into. But with that being said, I'm here for progress, right? So LA has now defunded taking $100 million from their police. Baltimore taking $22 million out of that $500 million. We need to do a little bit better, Baltimore, but thank you for the effort. $22 million towards the police. Minneapolis, Chicago. All these things are working, okay? I'm going to keep telling you guys that it's working, so keep going. With that being said, some things that are not working quick enough for me. Brianna Taylor.
Yes.
Brianna Taylor.
Why are they still not?
It has been over 100 days now that this young lady was killed, murdered.
In the comforts of her home.
In the comforts of her home, just minutes before 1 a.m. And you know what? Every time I hear this story, I learn something more about it, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. My nose is itching, and my camera person just said stop itching my nose, but something happened, and now it's itching. So just give me a second. All right. Anyway, booga. You want some? I done got none. All right. But with that being said, I do learn something different every single time. So
It's good.
it is really good. Y'all see, this is probably the episode I've been drinking the most. I'm ready to. Do you want some? Y'all want some? Y'all gotta bring y'all glasses next time so I can pull y'all up too. Yes, so Brianna Taylor. It hurts my feelings so much because I learned something new about the situation. On an interview with Angela Lee and Angie Martinez about New York. But Angie Martinez speaking about how the night happened. Did you guys know? Brianna Taylor's mom was called by the boyfriend. She gets to the place. First off, they have the roads blocked off with plenty of police, of course, as you know. They're trying to cover their tracks. They didn't even let her in to see her daughter. They sent her to the hospital. And guess what?
She was never.
2 hours she was at the hospital. And one of the nurses came back and said, look, I have no one here by that name. I don't have any information that person is coming by that name. Okay? So she goes back to the crime scene. 2 hours it takes for a detective to walk up to her and talk. So now we're at about 5 hours. We're not even talking about travel time.
Oh, wow.
And then when she tells him, like, I need to know what's going on with my daughter. Are you sure you have the right person? Because 2 people live there. 2 women live there because supposedly Brianna Taylor also lived with her sister. However, the mother was aware that the sister was not there at the time, but she wanted to know. She's trying to get in to find out what's going on with her daughter. And if y'all have kids, let me tell you, her daughter, all right? Another hour and a half till she gets to meet with the coroner, and the coroner decides that they're not going to approve her because you know when something like that happens, the coroner has to give you right to go and view the body. So let's just calculate that, and I'm not even taking away travel time, her being off maybe from trauma, not even realizing how truly long it was. 6.5 hours that Brianna Taylor laid in her bed, shot 8 times, dying or dead, whatever the case may be. And no one cared enough. They snuck her body away from the scene so that her mother could not see her body. And ask disrespectful ass questions. Like, do you know any reason why someone would hate her? Why someone would have beef enough to do this? Did her and her boyfriend have any recent arguments?
No, it was the
No one they killed them.
They hated her because she was fucking black. That's it.
So I'm going to keep fucking talking about it. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep bringing it up. I'm going to keep learning more. I'm going to keep helping in any way that I can, because ultimately, it is one thing to be, killed in a traffic stop. It is even one thing to be killed within your home, but it's one thing to be killed within your home as you're resting. So, justice for Brianna Taylor. Continue to spread the word there. Unfortunately, there's another incident that is being brought up right now, and I was briefly familiar with the case, just to be totally honest. Elijah McLean, 23-year-old massage therapist, who, in my opinion, was definitely
A little different.
just different. Completely sweet, humble, honest. Elijah McLean was a beautiful soul. And in his last moments, one of the last things he said was, I'm just different. I'm just an introvert. I'm a mood Gemini. Teamwork makes the dream work. Please, I can't breathe. I'm so sorry. I wouldn't hurt a fly. These are the things that came out of his mouth as he was vomiting from being 15 minutes on the ground in a chokehold from police. And then because he was having a hard time calming down when someone is attacking him for being innocent, because the whole reason why he was even attacked was because someone called the police and said that there was a suspicious male because he wore a ski mask because he had anemia. But you know what the person said on the phone? Hey, it's suspicious, but it doesn't look like this person is causing any harm or has any weapons. So whoever it is, once again, I ask you, what was your reasoning for calling in the first place? Was your life at any threat? It took police 3 minutes to apprehend him and then eventually start to attack him, where they injected over 500 milligrams, of ketamine, whatever, in his system, which would be for about a 200-pound man, and Elijah was only 140 pounds. 140 pounds of soft, humble human being with kindness in his soul. Unfortunately, he suffered 2 heart attacks on the way to the hospital, and on August 30th, 2019, he was proclaimed brain dead and then eventually taken off of life support. And so, we are here for you. We are here for his family. If you know any stories that you may want me to speak about, please leave your comments below. I will get the information and spread the word so that we can all do our part to make sure that justice is brought to all these families, as well as to the police system that has been completely letting us down. With that being said, guys, it's your girl J Vibes. Keep pushing for more. Keep getting it popping out here in these streets. Also want to let you guys know, make sure you remember Joel got Sauvignon Blanc 2018, and look forward to one of our first interviews with Boss Brit, our LGBT community influencer. She'll be in the building soon. We're working it out. But if you guys follow her or if you're interested in that, let me know. If you have something that you want me to talk about on the show, again, please drop your comments below. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's lit. Peace.